And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sam Eppolito Field on the campus of Granville Central School. As today, NYVT Media Sports brings you live coverage of the Section 2 Class C high school football quarterfinals. It's the homestanding Granville-Whitehall football team hosting the Sir Bills of Johnstown. Today's game is brought to you by Telescope Casual Furniture of Granville, sponsors of the Telescope Casual Furniture Broadcast Center, where we broadcast from each and every high school event here in Granville and around our entire area for NYVT Media Sports. Also brought to you by Doc's Sales and Service, W.T. Burns Insurance, the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant. And we'd like to thank those new sponsors who have come on board to help us out here with playoff action on NYVT Media. And welcome in, everybody. I'm Keith Harrington. I'll have the play-by-play call on an absolutely gorgeous, albeit chilly, Saturday afternoon. And it's been a while since we've had a Saturday afternoon game here at Sam Eppolito Field since the GW football merger. We've had mostly Friday night games here in Granville and in Whitehall, depending on which team was hosting. And this is a historic game here this afternoon, as it is believed to be the first ever playoff game for sectionals ever played here at Sam Eppolito Field. Last year, of course, GW made the playoffs for the first time in program history, and they played over at Ambrose Gilligan Field in Whitehall, defeating Kenajahari Fort Plain in that game and moving on to the semifinals, where they lost on the road against Cobleskill Richmondville. One thing we know is they won't be playing Cobleskill Richmondville again if they win here today, because Cobleskill Richmondville was upset at home last night, 27-10 by Hoosick Falls Tamarack. Cobleskill Richmondville had beaten them during the season 27-26, but it was all Wildcats last night. They dominated that game straight from the start, and they advanced. Also advancing last night, Fonda Fultonville was able to easily shut out Waterville Heatley. And then in the other quarterfinal game last night, it was the favorite in everybody's eyes, the Black Horse of Schuylerville, the defending state champions, as they rolled 58-0 over the Blue Hawks of Hudson. So Schuylerville, Fonda Fultonville, and Hoosick Falls Tamarack have advanced, and Johnstown and Granville-Whitehall playing here this afternoon to become the fourth team in the quarterfinals. Granville-Whitehall comes in with a record of 5-2. Johnstown is 4-3, but the Sir Bills started out 1-3, and they've won 3 in a row coming into this afternoon as they defeated Coxsackie Athens, Broadalbin Perth, and last week to earn this playoff spot, they defeated Hudson. So it's kind of a red-hot Johnstown team coming in here. Going back for the Sir Bills to receive is going to be Matthew Livingston, number 9, and Jonathan Swarthout, number 20. And this team came in here 2 years ago and defeated Granville-Whitehall. That was, I believe, a regular season game, not a playoff game that year, if memory serves right. And as I always say, it doesn't always. And Brandon Beaver has it on the tee. As Granville won the toss, they deferred until the second half, so they want that ball coming out in the third quarter. Here's Beaver's opening kickoff, and it's going to be taken by Swarthout at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, still on his feet, and Beaver comes over the kicker and takes him out at the 48-yard line. But a very good kick return by Jonathan Swarthout, and very good field position for the Sir Bills of Johnstown. They'll go on offense, first down and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Actually, well, a little dance being done by the official there. It was the 48, the 49, the 48, the 49. He settles on the 48. Country line dancing lessons were in play here. First down and 10, Sir Bills at their own 48-yard line. They'll send a receiver out to the right side. That's Aiden DeBoer. And they'll keep it on the ground for Swarthout, and he's going to be nailed for a loss of yardage. Brandon Beaver was there for GW. Quarterback, by the way, is Cole Downing, number 14. Veteran quarterback here. So a loss of 4 yards on the play by the GW defense as they were able to wrap up Swartwout behind the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 2nd down and 14 for the Sir Bills just underway here in Granville. They'll send a receiver out here to the right side. That is Jackson Kelso. 2 receivers over here on the right side, actually. Shotgun for Downing. He's a good running quarterback, and he'll keep it on the ground, but he's going to be stacked up at about the 47-yard line. Picked up 2 or 3 yards there, but it's going to be 3rd and long coming up here for Johnstown. Johnstown has been a bit of an enigma this year. They played a very close game against Schuylerville, who's been dominant, and then got blown out by Cobleskill Richmondville and Fonda Fultonville in their divisional games. So, kind of interesting how they didn't have any success against those other 2 teams, but played Schuylerville very tough. So it's kind of which Johnstown team's going to show up today. And of course, you never know who's had injuries, things like that. 3rd down and about 12 here for the Sir Bills. They're going to go back to pass. They're setting up a screen. It's incomplete. Cole Downing was trying to set up a screen for Aiden DeMore. And it's going to be 4th down. The Sir Bills will have to punt it away here with 10:13 to go opening quarter at Sam Eppolito Field. Nathan Barber, typically the guy that goes back to receive here for GW. And close to being blocked, and maybe was partially blocked as C.J. Monty came racing through. And it's going to roll dead at the 39-yard line. It was actually Vandenberg that was back deep. Usually Barber has been the punt returner at times here. Vandenberg as well has returned punts. They both are back there usually on kickoffs. But it was Vandenberg that was back there, number 5. And C.J. Monty came through and got a piece of that punt. The punter was David Jarabek, number 22 for the Sir Bills. So 1st down and 10, GW. Finn McLaughlin, the sophomore quarterback, at the controls, and he'll hand off to Monty. Monty across the 40 gets a big block downfield. A.J. Landon just drove number 1 back almost to the Vermont border. And it's going to be 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard pickup from Monty. Landon on that block at Brady Hill. He left Granville and ended up in Wells. Here's Beaver. They got Beaver behind the line of scrimmage. It's number 17 that comes through and blows it up. That's Van Green for the Sir Bills. So a good play there by Green as he came flying through. And somebody is still down for GW, and that is Brandon Beaver. The clock will stop with 9:23 to go. So it's going to be about a 3rd down and 9 coming up for GW. And nice play there by Van Green, number 17, who came through pretty much unblocked as they tried to sweep the ball outside with Beaver. And Green was all over it. So attending to Beaver down on the field. He's trying to get up, so it looks like nothing hopefully too serious, trying to get to his feet. Going to need a little assistance getting off the field, though, and that could be a major loss for GW on both sides of the football. So hopefully it won't be anything that's going to keep him out the rest of the game or the rest of the season, how long it should last, because that certainly would be a detrimental blow to this GW team, both on their offense with the way he is the lead blocker on running plays, the way he has run the ball here as of late, and of course defensively is just a dominant force on defense. So 3rd down and 9 coming up here for GW. We'll have a new fullback in the game. That'll be Sam Huntington. It's going to be Monty looking to get outside, started outside, cut it back, and they're going to wrap him up at about the 43-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th and long and should precipitate a punt, most likely, for GW. Finn McLaughlin talking with the coaching staff, and now he's going to duck into the lineup here, which shows that they're going to be punting the ball away. Beaver's also the kicker on the kickoffs for GW, so they're tending to him down on the field. So punting, it's going to be number 64, Landon King. King takes the snap. It's a high kick, not all that deep, but respectable. It goes by a Johnstown player, takes a nice GW bounce down to about the 27-yard line. So well done there by King. So it's going to be first down for Johnstown at the 28-yard line. Their own 28. Yeah. So the veteran dual threat quarterback Cole Downing brings out the Sir Bills for the second time with 8:18 to go here in the first quarter. He'll work from the shotgun, has 2 backs in the backfield with him. He'll go to pass, as you can see there, throws down the sideline and overthrown. Well covered by GW. Stephen Madison over there, number 17, on the coverage. It was intended for Aiden Diamore. So well covered by the GW defense there. I'll tell you, Eric and I were talking earlier, man, being out here in the daylight without those portable lights, and it brings back a lot of memories and a lot of games here during the daylight hours, but being able to do it and see the numbers a lot clearer. And here's Downing to pass. They're going right back that direction, and this time they complete it. Flag is down. Madison on the coverage. They go right back to Aiden Diamore. And I believe it's going to be pass interference or defensive holding on GW, which is going to make the completion. No, maybe not. Maybe he pushed off offensively. Yes, sir. Offensive pass interference. Yeah, well, there was contact. Clearly, it was a matter of which way the official was going to see it. And he called offensive pass interference as Diamore pushed off there to get clearance, to get separation from Madison. So big penalty there on the Sir Bills and a big break for GW. Looks like they're retaping Beaver down on the field. Hopefully that's an indication he'll be able to get back out there. It's not like they're saying take all your gear off and call it a day. So hopefully that's a really good sign for GW here. So with the penalty, the ball's going to be all the way back inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And they've got to get up to about the 37. So they've got a second, like 23, I believe. Downing fakes handoff, looks to pass. Rolling, has pressure, throws. Beautiful defensive play there. And once again, it is Stephen Madison, number 17. Madison has had 3 big plays already defensively here in this ball game. For whatever reason, they seem to be throwing in Madison's direction, and Madison's like, oh, no, you're not. So 3rd down and long here, 3rd and 22 for the Sir Bills. 7:43 to go. In this first quarter, no score. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Johnstown. Downing once again will work from the gun. Downing goes back to pass, rolling. He's got pressure from Egan. He's going to throw the screen. If they wrap and tackle, they're going to get him short, and they do. Great job there by the GW defense. A.J. Landon was there, number 57. Huntington was there. Monty was there. So a great job there defensively by GW. They had a lot of yards to work with. They didn't really care if they got the screen pass as long as they wrapped and tackled on the back end of that play. And that's what they did. So a nice job defensively. So Jared Beckett is on the punt. It's a low snap. He's got pressure. And I think Huntington got a piece of it, so there's no roughing the kicker. And it's going to be Barber. Barber takes a late shot out of bounds. Officials decide not to throw a flag, but for the second time, GW gets a piece of a punt. First time it was Monty. That time it was Huntington. You saw the official give the it was tipped sign, which negates the roughing the punter, roughing the kicker. So good field position here for GW. 7 minutes to go, first quarter, and they'll take over at the 39-yard line, the Johnstown 39. Finn McLaughlin takes a snap, hands for Monty. Monty loses his footing there. Goes down at the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost half a yard. Looks like he did. They're going to mark him down on the other side of the 40. So lost a yard or two. Looks like lost 2. It's going to be second down and 12. So we did have a lot of rain, as everybody that lives in this area knows, back on Thursday and some more yesterday. And it looks like the footing is a little iffy out there on the field here today. Third down and 12. McLaughlin to pass, throws a screen from Monty. Monty trying to get outside, gets a block, gets down the right sideline, down inside the 25-yard line for a first down to about the 24. Got a nice block downfield to help spring that play free. And Monty, it looked like they had it snuffed out pretty well, but he just turned on the jets and got around the corner with a lot of determination. And it's first down and 10, GW. Football at the 24-yard line. Monty right up the middle, gets down to the 20. The pile getting moved forward down inside the 20 to about the 18 or 19-yard line. So a nice run there. Picked up 6 on the play. It's going to be second down and 4. Clock will stop here. Officials timeout as a player is limping off for the Sir Bills. That's number 56, Darren Fallis, who's come up a bit gimpy, and some of his coaching staff goes out to help him out. We'll start the clock back up. 6 minutes to go. First quarter, no score. GW facing a second down and 4 inside the 20 at the 19-yard line of the Sir Bills. McCullen's going to line up as the tight end on the left side here. And looks like this could be offsides on Johnstown. And it will be. So that's going to be 5 yards. Going to put the ball up across the 15 at about the 14. It's going to be second down and short. Issue with the chains over there. Oh, they're going to measure for the first down. It's close enough to measure after the penalty. So they bring the chains across. And just short. You can see the official there putting his hands up, showing the distance. So it's going to be second down and less than a yard here, inches really, for GW. 5:41 to go, opening quarter. No score in this Section 2 Class C quarterfinal. Winner would get Fonda Fultonville in Fonda. They'll hand off to Monty. Monty's got the first down. He's got more. He's down inside the 5 and down close to the goal line. It'll be first down and goal, GW. And what a job by the offensive line there, just like a snowplow effect, just blowing over that front. And if you can control the front, you're going to control the football game more times than not. It's going to be a quarter. No, it's going to be Monty. And he's in the end zone for the touchdown. 5:13 to go in the opening quarter. Monty, a 1-yard run. And it's 6-0. And now the conversion try, which has been the struggle for GW this year. That game they lost to Fonda 35-30. They missed every conversion. Of course, Enzo Ream, their place kicker, who's a very good place kicker, has been out with a knee injury. They'll keep it on the ground straight ahead. And they will not get there. Nonetheless, GW strikes first. 5:13 to go in the opening quarter. And the 1-yard touchdown run by C.J. Monty. And it's now GW 6 and Johnstown nothing. Today's game is brought to you by Telescope Casual Furniture, manufacturing in Granville for over 100 years. Voted the ICFA Manufacturer of the Year in 2019, 2021, and 2022. Family owned and operated business focusing on comfort, style, quality, and world-class customer service. That's Telescope Casual Furniture, sponsors of the Telescope Furniture Broadcast Center. Also brought to you by Docks Sales and Service. Does your snow equipment need servicing? Now's the time to schedule. Avoid the wait. Call Docks Sales and Service today. 518-499-5394. That's 518-499-5394. 12140 State Route 22 in Whitehall, New York. That's Docks Sales and Service. And we'd like to welcome Docks aboard as a brand new sponsor here today. So Swartwout is back. One of the guys back. And it's not going to be Swartwout. It's going to be, well, it is going to be Swarthout. And he got it underneath him. He's looking for some return room, and he's not going to find it. Well, give Swartwout credit. He kept battling. On the tackle, it looked like it was Steven Madison. Steven Madison's having a heck of a ball game here in this first quarter. And Johnstown's got some other news. Two Swartwouts. Steven Swartwout is 9, and Jonathan Swartwout is 20 for the Sir Bills. I think they're both back there on that return. So the Sir Bills are going to be pushed back inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. First down 10 for Johnstown. 5:05 to go opening quarter here in Granville at Sam Eppolito Field. Class C sectional quarterfinals. Looking to join Schuylerville, Fonda Fultonville, and Hoosick Falls Tamarack in the semis. A receiver out to the right, another to the left. Downing is going to work out of the shotgun on 1st and 10 from the 13. He'll keep it on the ground. And a nice run there up to about the 20-yard line. That is Jonathan Swartwout. Actually, correction, Matthew Livingston. That's why we got 2 number 9s on my. There we go. Let's get rid of one of them. It's Matthew Livingston. We had 2 Swartwouts wearing number 9 according to the roster. So we're going to go with that being Matthew Livingston. Livingston got 7 yards. Going to be 2nd down and 3. Man goes in motion for the Sir Bills. Out of the shotgun, it's Downey. And they'll keep it on the ground. And it looks like they've got first down yardage. As once again, it's Livingston on the carry after taking that handoff from Downing. And it's going to be a first down for the Sir Bills. Coming up on 4 minutes to go opening quarter, 6-0 GW. 1-yard touchdown run from C.J. Monty. But again, the conversion not successful, and that's been an issue for GW this year. A receiver comes out wide to the right side here. That's Jackson Kelso, number 8, 2 receivers to the left. Downey's going to keep it on the ground. They've got him behind the scrimmage. It's A.J. Landon coming firing through to make the big pop. He came through untouched, shed his blocker, and came flying through to make the big hit. So a big play there, big loss of yardage back to the 21-yard line. It's going to be second down and long coming up for the Sir Bills. Big play from A.J. Landon. Receiver out to the left, a receiver out to the right side. Back to pass. Downey with the screen. It was deflected. And again, it's A.J. Landon that blows it up. He came through, got the piece of that. And it's third down and about 14 coming up here for the Sir Bills. Well, as I said, you got to win the battle of the trenches. And right now, GW is doing that on both sides of the ball, using that offensive line to just blow holes open. And they've got a piece of 2 punts. And they've blown up a couple of plays here with just dominating up front. Third and 14 for the Sir Bills. And they're going to take a timeout and talk it over with 2:53 to go here in the first quarter. Our score in the Class C quarterfinals here at Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. It is Granville-Whitehall 6, Johnstown nothing. Today's game is brought to you by W.T. Burns Insurance. Tired of high insurance rates? Before you shift gears to an online company, call Sherry at W.T. Burns Insurance. She'll shop for the best rate for you. 518-499-1333. 94 Pulteney Street in Whitehall, New York. Auto, home, business, and recreation. That's W.T. Burns Insurance serving Vermont and New York. Call Sherry Roselle, 518-499-1333. Also, the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant now offers DoorDash online ordering and pickup. Rail Yard gift certificates make holiday gift giving easy. 209 Broadway in Whitehall, New York. Call 518-499-0411. Open 6 days a week. That's the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant of Whitehall. So, 2:53 to go in the opening quarter. 6-0 GW. Third and 14 for the Sir Bills. They send a receiver to the right. That's Diamore in motion. Downing is back to pass. He'll throw for Diamore, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Well short of the first down. And the punt unit's going to come on, it looks like, for the Sir Bills. Is trotting on is David Jerebeck. He is the punter. And still having a hard time there, limping around out there is Darren Fallis. Jerebeck with the punt, a low line drive punt. Barber makes a smart choice, gets away from it. It's going to be touched up at the 40-yard line by Jonathan Swartwout. And that's where it's going to be. First down and 10. So pretty good field position here for GW, and a pretty crucial drive right here. Up by a score of 6-0. You'd like to put a second score on the board here and really put the pressure on the Sir Bills. They'll break out of the huddle. McCullen, the tight end, lines up on the right. Sagana is on the left side. And they'll keep it on the ground. This is Monty. He got tripped up just across the 40. And going to be about a 2-yard pickup on the play up to the 42-yard line. It's going to be second down and 8 for GW. Finn McLaughlin, the sophomore quarterback, gets the play from the sideline, comes out to share it with his teammates in the huddle here. Sagana's coming out here to the left side. McCullen is on the tight end right. Full house backfield for GW. This is Monty. And they got him at the line of scrimmage. He's going nowhere. Big play there by number 68 for the Sir Bills. That is Grayson Rose. So it's 3rd down and 8 after no gain on that play. And this is where they miss Brandon Beaver, because right now it's the CJ Monty show. They're going to have to come up with some other ways to get some offense here. And Johnstown's going to use their 2nd timeout already of the half with 1:29 to go here in the quarter. So let's go back to our sponsors here once again, such as Telescope Casual Furniture, manufacturing in Granville for over 100 years, voted the ICFA Manufacturer of the Year in 2019, 2021, and 2022. Family-owned and operated business focusing on comfort, style, quality, and world-class customer service. Telescope Casual Furniture, sponsors of our Telescope Furniture Broadcast Center. Also by Docks Sales and Service. Does your snow equipment need servicing? We all don't want to think about it, but that time's coming, folks. Now's the time to schedule. Avoid the wait. Call Doc Sales and Service today at 518-499-5394, 12140 State Route 22, Whitehall. Docs Sales and Service. And here is Huntington on a little counter. They've got him tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be Matthew Livingston, I presume, number 9. And he trips him up behind the line of scrimmage. And the punt team will come on for GW, as it'll be, once again, Landon King. Can't miss him with those pink sleeves on. And dropping back is DeMore. And here's the punt, angling toward right toward DeMore. Takes it to 36, and there, C.J. Monty. There's a very late flag coming in at the very tail end. Monty down there quickly. Yeah, you was going to say, that's got to be in the area of holding. And it was a late holding call. The Sir Bills have been killing themselves field position-wise here in this opening quarter, when they would have had good field position on punts and returns, and they have penalties on the play. They have been really hurting themselves with penalties here in the special teams. And special teams can play a very big factor in these big games. And right now it is. And it's benefiting GW. 26-yard line is where they're going to put the ball down. 1st down and 10 for Johnstown. 39 seconds left in the opening quarter. Downing brings them up to the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be right underneath the center here. And he'll keep it on the ground to the fullback. And once again, the penetration up front by GW stops the runner from going anywhere. I think that was Livingston again. Number 9, Matthew Livingston. But they've been in the shotgun all day. Haven't had much success. So they decide to go with the underneath the center. Try a little power football. But GW has really controlled the trenches this whole quarter. This is going to be the end of the quarter right here. And that's going to do it for the opening quarter of play here at Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. It's the Class C high school football Section 2 quarterfinals. At the end of one, our score, Granville-Whitehall 6, Johnstown nothing. Today's game on Nivett Media Sports brought to you by W.T. Burns Insurance. Tired of high insurance rates? Before you shift gears to an online company, call Sherry at W.T. Burns Insurance. She'll shop for the best rate for you. Call 518-499-1333, 94 Pulteney Street, Whitehall, New York, auto, home, business, recreation. Call Sherry Roselle at W.T. Burns Insurance, serving Vermont and New York, 518-499-1333. Also by the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant, now offering DoorDash, online ordering and pickup. Rail Yard gift certificates make holiday gift giving easy. 209 Broadway, Whitehall, New York. Call 518-499-0411. They are open 6 days a week. That's the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant in Whitehall. Been there a few times myself and have had a lot of good meals there. Go check it out for yourself. Second down and 10 for the Sir Bills as we start the second quarter. They're going to run the ball here, and it's a direct snap to Livingston, and Livingston gets their best offensive play so far of the game as he picks up nice positive yardage, picked up about 14 yards up to the 40. Well, they tried the shotgun, had no success. They tried coming right up underneath the center, had no success. So they decided to put Livingston at quarterback and go direct snap, and that was their most successful play so far of the ball game. And there's another GW player slow getting up over on the far side. So a pickup of about 13 on the play for Livingston. Sam Huntington's the player that's up. He's coming off under his own power, as you can see there. But that would be another huge loss for GW because he plays the fullback spot when Beaver is not in the game, and Beaver's already out with an injury. So, Huntington would be a guy that, again, you couldn't, have two people injured that could hurt you more, really, because they play the same spot, more or less. Both backfield members, and hopefully he'll be able to get back out there. First down and 10. Coming out wide to the left side is number 2. That might be Steven Swartwout. We don't have a number 2 listed on our roster. Downing is going to keep it on the ground. Nothing doing. And it's A.J. Landon once again. And again, it was the handoff to Livingston. A.J. is just on fire here in this ball game. Loss of yardage there. 2nd and 13. I'd only say one thing if I was down there in the Johnstown locker room talk. Somebody better block 57 or you're going to go nowhere in this ball game. 2nd down and 13. Downing back in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Hands off, and Landon was there again, but they handed off. And now they've got a guy loose. They totally trick play, and that's Downing. Downing down toward the end zone. Did he get there? No. Everybody was following the wrong guy, probably including our camera. I know I was. Maybe not. Maybe Eric was all over it, but was following it. A lot of people were watching it. A.J. Landon almost got in there and blew that play up in the backfield, but it's going to be right down. They end up spotting it at the 5-yard line. So it's going to be first down goal at the 5-yard line for the Sir Bills. What a big run there. I told you that Cole Downing was known as being a dual threat quarterback, and he showed his running skills there. They faked me out. I know that. And they faked out a lot of people from GW. First and goal at the 5 for the Sir Bills. Downing underneath the center. Going to send a man in motion. Going to keep it on the ground. And on the carry, that was number 20, Jonathan Swartwout. He picked up 3 yards up to about the 2. It's going to be 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Just underway, second quarter. So the Sir Bills trying to tie this game up, take the lead with a conversion. 2nd down and goal from about the 2. They'll go straight ahead here, and GW's all over it, now pulling out of there with it and diving into the end zone, and they run a little read option. I'm surprised they didn't blow that play dead. But it was Livingston, after they handed it to the fullback, he took it out of the arms of Livingston and ran it in for the touchdown. So it comes with 9:11 to go in the second quarter. The 2-yard run from Downing, but he pulled it right out of the arms of Livingston. And they're going to have the kick here by Jarabek for the lead. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the kick by Jarabek. And with 9:11 to go here in the quarter, it is Johnstown 7 and Granville-Whitehall 6. So right now, we'll talk about our sponsors once again, such as Telescope Casual Furniture, manufacturing in Granville for over 100 years, voted the ICFA Manufacturer of the Year in 2019, 2021, and 2022. Family-owned and operated business focusing on comfort, style, quality, and world-class customer service. That's Telescope Furniture, sponsors of the Telescope Furniture Broadcast Center, where we broadcast all our sporting events and other events from here on Nivant Media Sports. Also, Doc's Sales and Service. Does your snow equipment need servicing? Now's the time to schedule. Avoid the wait. Call Doc's Sales and Service today. 518-499-5394. 12140 State Route 22, Whitehall, New York. That's Doc's Sales and Service. Lucas Vandenberg and Nathan Barber go back to receive the kick here from Jarabek, who just gave the Sir Bills a 7-6 lead after the 1-yard touchdown run from Downing on an interesting play. And it's going to be taking one of the up men here. That is Madison. Madison's got the 35, brought down about the 36-yard line. Number 50 there on the tackle, Jackson Green, for the Sir Bills. So 7-6 Johnstown. Granville-Whitehall comes out on offense. They'll go first down and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Or excuse me, the 37-yard line. I beg your pardon. So let's see what GW can get going here. It's going to be Monty. Monty runs through one tackler, powers up to the 45-yard line. Picked up about 8 on the play. It's going to be second down and 2, depending on the spot. Looks like he picked up closer to 7, so second down and 3. And with Beaver not in there, it's a lot's going to be on the shoulders here of Monty. Here's Monty. Looked like he was going to get the first down, then just got shoved back. Number 1 was there, Brady Hill, for the Sir Bills. But it was enough to move the chains. So first down and 10 here for GW. And that's a big first down, because the last thing they wanted to do now, trailing by a point, is go 3 downs and out, give the ball right back to Johnstown. So first down and 10. Here's Monty. And nothing there. They try the left tackle, and it was number 61, Noah Weaver, that was there for the Sir Bills. And it's going to be second down and 10. And without the threat of Beaver being in there, as I said, they're going to have to get a little creative here. I formation. Once again, Monty. Monty barrels his way inside the 50 to the 49. And it's going to be third down and long coming up here for GW. Picked up 3. It's going to be third and 7 across midfield. We'll see if it's 4-down territory here, depending on what happens with this play. Toss sweep for Monty. Good block out front by Barber. Monty, 40, 35, 30, still on his feet to the 25. and got a big block out front there by Nathan Barber. So a great job on the lead block by Barber out in front of that play, and it's going to be inside the 30 at the 27-yard line, first down and 10. Sometimes I forget. I say, they're going to have to get a little creative without Beaver in there and find some other offense. But sometimes just C.J. Monty is just so determined. And there you go, Barber with the handoff. Sometimes, even though the other team knows it's coming, he's a hard guy to stop when they block like they did on that play. Even more so. Pick up of 2 on the play up to the 25-yard line and second down and 8 for GW. We go under 7 minutes to play, second quarter, 7-6, Sir Bills. Winner of this will get Fonda Fultonville on the road next weekend. They're going to pass here. They throw, and incomplete, intended for Mason Sagana. Again, though, I like the call. I like the run to Barber. I like the pass there to Sagana. You've got to at least show Johnstown some different looks to try to free up Monty a little bit more. So I like both of those calls by GW's coaching staff. I think it's a necessity, really. Third down and 8, definitely 4-down territory down here at the 25-yard line, 6:40 to go before halftime. Here's Monty, great blocking out front. Huge block by Patrick Egan. And here's Monty, knocked out of bounds over on the far sideline inside the 10-yard line. But Patrick Egan got out in front of that play and made a huge block. And like I said, even though they know Monty's coming a high percentage of the time, if you block the play correctly with his power and determination, you're going to have success more times than not. And that's exactly what happened right there. Excellent blocking up front. And it's going to be first and goal at the 9-yard line. McLaughlin hands off. Here's Monty. Flag down. And that's never good for the offense when it's thrown from the head referee behind the play. And it is holding against GW. So 6:26 to go in the half. 7-6 Johnstown. GW driving, but a holding call is going to at least stall this drive a little bit right there. It's going to put them back at about the 18-yard line. First and goal now from the 18. Still 4-down territory here. Toss sweep right side for Monty. And they've got him wrapped up. He's still trying to find some running room, but won't find it. And he's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 21-yard line. So well defended there was Jackson Green. Another big play from Green. He's had a couple of big plays defensively here for the Sir Bills. So it's going to be second and goal now at the 21-yard line. They come up to the line of scrimmage. McLaughlin calls the signals. Toss sweep left. They're going to try to throw it. Sagans, and he's brought down to get in the end zone. He's brought the 1. But they go to the halfback option. C.J. Monty throwing to Mason Sagana. And Sagana down to the 1-yard line. It's going to be third and goal now from the 1. Clock running. 5:16 to go before halftime. Third and goal at the 1-yard line. McLaughlin takes a snap, hands to Monty. And he's in the end zone. Touchdown. 1-yard touchdown run from C.J. Monty, his second of the game. And it's now 12-7. Granville-Whitehall, the big play, of course, setting it up. The halfback option, Monty throwing the pass to Mason Sagana. So now the conversion attempt. And a Granville-Whitehall player shaken up down there. That's Egan. Egan was key on this drive on that one big run. He did a heck of a job. He laid a heck of a block out there. So this game, even though GW has taken the lead back, has definitely taken its toll here on GW. It's physically been a tough game. So the conversion attempt coming up. Egan's jogging off. Hopefully that's a good sign. He had, like I said, a huge block on that drive. Here comes the conversion try. McLaughlin takes the snap, hands off. Monty in the end zone for the conversion. So with 5:07 to go here in the opening half, it is now Granville-Whitehall 14 and Johnstown 7. So coming right back to take the lead was GW. A big drive there. And, of course, the big play on the drive was that halfback option pass from C.J. Monty to Mason Sagana. That was a very, very big play. Today's game brought to you here on Nivant Media Sports by W.T. Burns Insurance. Tired of high insurance rates? Before you shift gears to an online company, call Sherry at W.T. Burns Insurance. She'll shop for the best rate for you. Call 518-499-0333, 518-499-0333. 94 Pulte Street in Whitehall, New York. Auto, home, business, or recreation. That's W.T. Burns Insurance. Sherry Roselle, serving Vermont and New York. Today's game also brought to you by the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant, now offering DoorDash, online ordering, and pickup. Rail Yard gift certificates make holiday gift giving easy. 209 Broadway, Whitehall, New York. Call 518-499-0411. Open 6 days a week. The Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant in Whitehall. Here's the kick, and it's a good kick. It's over the head of the receiver. Has to take it back at the 15 to the 20. And ball comes loose, and GW's got it. And it's Cameron Myers, number 1. Huge play in this football game. The ball came loose from the return man, Jonathan Swartwout. And on top of it is Cameron Myers. And what a big play for Myers. He was Johnny on the spot, right place, right time. And G-Dub is going to take over, first down and 10 at the 28-yard line. And this could be huge to punch one in here before halftime. High formation. Monty. And look at Sam Huntington pushing the pile there. Trying to get as much yardage out of it as they can. McLaughlin comes over, gets the play from the sideline. Second down and 8 coming up here for GW. They want to use a lot of clock, and they want to punch it in. That would be the ultimate for them right now. Back to pass. McLaughlin throws. He's got Sagana. Just couldn't hang on. Over there was number 18, Max Miller, for the Sir Bills. And even with Miller there, Sagana almost hauled that in. Third down 8. 4:21 to go here in the second quarter. 14-7 Granville-Whitehall. Pair of 1-yard touchdown runs from C.J. Monty. Third down. Now try to give the second man through. That's Barber. Johnstown tried to strip the ball. Barber doing a good job there. It was number 61, Noah Weaver, that was there for the Sir Bills, along with some help from his friends. And it's fourth down and about 12 from the 29-yard line. So we'll see what GW can come up with here. Might be the old wheel pattern. Maybe, well, Monty's going out. That wouldn't be the wheel pattern, but McCullen's going to be on the left side with Monty. Back to pass is McLaughlin, throws underneath, and it's incomplete. So GW cannot take advantage of the fumble recovery. And Johnstown is going to go back on offense with 3:37 to go before the half. So couldn't take advantage of the turnover. So the Sir Bills got to be happy. They dodged a bullet. And it's going to be first down and 10 for them at their own 29-yard line. And they've got plenty of time to work here, 3:37 before the half, but they used 2 timeouts. So that's an issue to note. Downing out of the shotgun. Keeps it on the ground for Livingston. Stacked up by GW pretty well there. Short gain. Maybe a yard or two for Livingston. Picked up about 3. Second down and 7 coming up for Johnstown. Two receivers coming out to the left side. That's Diamore and Miller, another one on the right side. Downing takes the snap, hands off for Livingston. Livingston up to about the 35-yard line. It's going to be third down. A host of GW players in there. A.J. Landon on the bottom of the pile. Huntington was there. Sagana. It's going to be third down and 3 coming up here. 2.5 to play in the half. 14-7 GW. Coming out to the left side here is Miller. Shotgun for Downing with a back on each side of him, as you can see. Third down. They're going to keep it on the ground for Swartwout, and he's got the first down and more. He gets up to about the 44-yard line with just about 2 minutes to play in the half. So a new set of downs here for the Sir Bills, trying to go down and see if they can tie it up here before halftime, maybe even take the lead. Stephen Madison there with the tackle for Granville-Whitehall. Miller comes out to the left side again. Looks like Livingston and Swartwout in the backfield with Downing. It's going to be Swartwout, and he's got running room over on that right side. Gets up to about midfield. A.J. Landon once again over there involved. Pick up about 6 on the play by Swartwout. And it's going to be second down and 4. Out on the right side is Diamore. They're going to go back to pass. Downing looking to throw, and he had Diamore out there, and it just went through his hands. Couldn't haul it in. Double covered out there on the right side. But Diamore was out there. That's going to stop our clock. Minute 15 to go in the half. Miller comes out to the left side on third down and 4. Downing takes the snap, hands off to Swartwout, and he's going to have the first down over on the far sideline. And he'll get out of bounds to stop the clock with a minute 10 to go in the half. So first down for the Sir Bills. They'll reset the chains. So they seem to be going now with Swartwout more as they were going with Livingston before a little bit more on their run game. First and 10. The receiver out to the right side, Downing out of the shotgun. Calls the signals, rolls right, throws, and he's got a man. That's complete over on the far sideline, and that's Max Miller, number 18. And again, got out of bounds, stopped the clock. So well played there by the Sir Bills, and they've got second and short at the 35-yard line. Second and about a yard and a half. Back to passes Downing. They're going the same direction. And once again, they go right to Miller. Same play. And he makes the catch, stays in bounds, being very successful right now with this little short passing game. And it's a first down at the 25-yard line with 1:01 to go. They're using a lot of, or conserving a lot of clock, I should say. So 1st and 10 at the GW 25 for the Sir Bills. Diamore goes out to the right side. They're going to keep it on the ground. And that's Swart out. And they've got him wrapped up at C.J. Monty. Also, there is Cameron Myers. And Johnstown's going to use, I should say, their last time out. So keep it right here this time. Not that we ever go anywhere, but 52.5 seconds to go. That's an old radio thing right there. We used to go back to the station for commercial breaks. But instead of running commercials here, we'll just set the scene a little bit. So Fonda Fultonville winning last night. Dominant win for them over Waterville Heatley to advance. Cobleskill Richmondville, minor upset there. I wouldn't say a major upset because they had played a very close game, a 1-point game actually during the season, 27-26 in favor of the Bulldogs. But Hoosick Falls Tamarack was in control of that game right from the get-go last night and never let go of it. I mean, they dominated that game. 27-10 win, and it was actually not as close as that score would indicate. And then Schuylerville did what Schuylerville does, 58-0 over the Hudson Blue Hawks. So those three teams have punched their ticket to the Final Four, and they're going to go with Downing is out as a receiver this time. Livingston once again, and Livingston bobbles the snap, gets it back, picks up positive yardage, gets inside the 20, gets inside the 15. They used their last time out, though, I believe. They have to stop the clock to reset the chains, and then they'll crank it back up. There they go. They haven't reset the chains yet. Started it anyway. Here's Livingston. Livingston to the 10, but once again, they're out of timeouts. So they're going to have to go in a hurry on the Sir Bills. So this is going to be dramatic here down the stretch. Miller's out there wide to that right side. Downing is back at quarterback, so expect a pass here. And a flag down, false start. That's a killer for the Sir Bills. 19.3 to go. That's going to cost them 5 yards. I guess if you want to take anything positive out of that, they got to stop the clock, which they didn't have any ability to do because they're out of timeout. So if you have to see a silver lining out of that, if you're Johnstown, they got to stop the clock. I don't know what's going on over there on the sideline with Downing. Yeah, he's going to have to go out. They came out to look at it, and they're looking at the right hand of Downing. They'll probably go with Livingston here, the running back, in a direct snap situation like they've had some success with. Although, if you do that, you probably only get one play. So, looks like they will go with a different quarterback. Anthony Caputo, number 7, the backup quarterback, is in. They'll send 2 receivers. Now they're going to start the clock up. But Caputo's in, the backup quarterback, with 14 seconds to play in the half. He'll take the snap, roll out, look, throw underneath, incomplete. C.J. Monty makes the tackle. They have no timeouts. And that's going to do it for the half. They're scrambling, but they're not going to have time. Yep. That does it for the first half here at Sam Ippolito Field. So a big stop there. And an important note here before we take our halftime break, Granville-Whitehall deferred the opening kickoff to receive it. They deferred. They won the coin toss and deferred. So they're going to have the ball coming out in the third quarter. That could end up being very important in this ball game. So we go to halftime here at Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. Our score at the half in the Section 2 Class C quarterfinals, Granville-Whitehall 14, Johnstown 7. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. This is Nivet Media Sports. And welcome back to Sam Eppolito Field here in Granville as we get ready to go with the third quarter. Section 2 Class C quarterfinals. Granville-Whitehall in their first ever home sectional playoff game taking on the Sir Bills of Johnstown. GW, the number 2 seed out of Class C East. Johnstown, the 3 seed out of Class C West. And at halftime, it is 14-7. GW, and they deferred after winning the coin toss to begin the game. So they're going to get the ball first here to start the third quarter. And this could be crucial. Up 14-7, if they could get down and put more points on the board on this drive, that and use a lot of the quarter's clock, that would make it very difficult here for the Sir Bills. Jarrett Beck has it on the tee. Back deep. Vandenberg and Barber are the deep men. It's going to be a low line drive kick. It's going to be jumped on by GW. Lucas Vandenberg jumps on it after trying to scoop it up. There was Steven Madison. So Granville-Whitehall, this crucial drive right here to start the third quarter, leading 14-7. As I said, they purposely deferred after winning the coin toss. So they've got 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. And they'd like to get out and make it a 2-score game here. McLaughlin underneath the center. Full house backfield. They'll hand it off to Monty. Monty hit it about the 30, but they pushed the pile. What a great job by the offensive line there, pushing the pile, pushing Monty all the way out to the 34-yard line. So it looked like there wasn't going to be much there, and they end up getting a decent gain out of it. And nice to see that Patrick Egan is back out there for GW. He left the game injured back in the second quarter, and he's crucial on both sides of the ball here for GW. Pickup of about 4 on the play. They'll keep it on the ground again. Here's Monty. Monty up to the 40. He's got the first down. Needed the 39. So a good positive start to the quarter here by Granville-Whitehall. And like I said, they'd like to go down, put a big drive together here, use a good chunk of this third quarter clock. And they're going to run it outside this time. This time they're ready for Monty. They're going to lose a yard on the play. As number 6 was there, Aiden DeMore. Also number 20, Jonathan Swartwout. Loss of a yard on the play. Back to the 39-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. Jackson McCullen's lined up as the tight end here on the right side. No receivers. Here's Monty. Big hole. 50, 35, 40. Scrambling, still on his feet. Bringing the defense with him. He's down inside the 35-yard line. Huge run by Monty. And as I said back in the first half, you would think maybe Granville-Whitehall, and they did, they had a pass play to Sagana, and they had Barber had a run in there. But, you'd think with Beaver out, you'd think, we just can't run Monty all the time. Well, maybe you can. I mean, he's that good. And if they're executing up front like this offensive line has been in the ball game, even though Johnstown knows it's coming, maybe you can run Monty all half. Chain gang getting things all straightened out. Officials timeout over on the far sideline. Looks like they got tangled up over there or something. Frank Hunt, one of the guys over there. And I was talking to him before the game. He's a big football fan for Navy. Navy, of course, undefeated, trying to get in the end of the year playoffs as one of the teams not in a Power 5 conference. And Frank usually goes to the Navy games, but they're away this weekend. So that made him available to come help his athletic director daughter, Gabby, out by being part of the chain gang here for this big game. But a huge Navy football fan. 1st down 10 GW at the Johnstown 38. They lead by a touchdown. Here's Monty. Monty spins, powers his way down inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. And thus far, this is exactly what GW wants to do. They want to put together a long, time-consuming drive and cash it in with points. And they're right on schedule. Here, as Monty got 5, it's going to be second down and 5. Nothing tricky, just hat on a hat, power football here. And Monty again, inside the 25. Look at them push the pile. Big number 71 coming in there, Ethan Studley, pushing the pile, and they're going to get a first down. This is textbook right now of what you would want to do right now if you're GW coming out here in the third quarter. A long time consuming drive, cashing in with points if they can do so. And that's what they're doing right now. Keeping that clock running. Power football. This is old Whitehall and Granville football right here. Monty, they got him in the backfield, broke away across the 20 down close to the 15. $8:35 to go. 3.5 minutes have been consumed on the clock right now by GW. They've got a second down and 5 at about the 17 or 18-yard line. It's just power football. They've put A.J. Landon as the fullback. Landon gets a big block, flag coming in there, and could be a holding call. And it is going to be a holding call on GW. But I like the move. Landon actually played some fullback earlier in his career. If I remember correctly. And so with Beaver out with the ankle, I believe an ankle, it looks like some kind of an ankle injury, lower body, lower extremities is the way I think they say it in the big time nowadays. I like the idea of moving Landon back there to that fullback spot, and it seems to be successful. Here's Monty, big hole, 20, and bangs his way almost back up to the original line of scrimmage that they were at before the penalty. So it's going to be about the 17-yard line. Third, and it looks like about 6 here for GW. 7:40 to go, third quarter. Monty once again, and once again, the offensive line just blows Johnstown off the ball using Landon as that lead blocker. And they'll get down to the 11-yard line, and it's very close to a first down. It is a GW first down. Closing up on 7 minutes to go here. First down at the 11-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring at about the 1. Here's Monty, left side, big hole, barrels his way down inside the 5, just short of the end zone. Could be a first down. Looks like he picked up about 10. Needed to get inside the 1. It is going to be a first down. So it's going to be first and goal, GW, at the 1-yard line. We go under 7 minutes to play, third quarter. And if you were in the Granville-Whitehall locker room, this is exactly what you would draw up to start this third quarter. Long, time-consuming drive, smash mouth football. Monty, they got him behind the line of scrimmage. Second effort, hands are up. Official's hand is up. It's a touchdown. Whitehall, Granville-Whitehall, and it's the third 1-yard run of the day for Granville-Whitehall for C.J. Monty. Comes with 6:36 to go. It's now 20-7. Well, you know, sometimes you're better to be right than good, or whatever the old saying is. I think that's luckier than good, but I said they need to come out, long consuming drive right here, cash in with points, take a lot of clock away from the Sir Bills, and that's what they did. And they're going to hit Madison behind the line of scrimmage here. Big play there. Nice defensive play by Jonathan Swartwout. But nonetheless, as they come up the field, 6:36 to go here in the third quarter, the Class C quarterfinals, and it's Granville-Whitehall 20 and the Sir Bills of Johnstown 7. Today's game brought to you by Telescope Casual Furniture, manufacturing in Granville for over 100 years, and voted the ICFA Manufacturer of the Year in 2019, 2021, and 2022. Family owned and operated business focusing on comfort, style, quality, and world-class customer service. That's Telescope Casual Furniture, sponsors of the Telescope Furniture Broadcast Center. Also, by Dock Sales and Service. Does your snow equipment need servicing? Now's the time to schedule. Avoid the wait. Call Dock Sales and Service today. 518-499-5394. 12140 State Route 22, Whitehall, New York. Docks Sales and Service. Landon King has it on the tee for GW. 3 one-yard runs by C.J. Monty, and a tremendous job by the offensive line. Power football. Here's Swartwout at the 15. He's got the 20, 25, 30, and gets outside. A huge block right there. And Swartwout gets into GW territory. A huge block by, I believe it was number 78 there. And that is Anthony Isabella. Big block by Isabella. And that's Patrick Egan again coming off slowly. He's been banged up today. I don't know if Isabella's any relation. We have a 500cc mini sprint driver up at Devil's Bowl. I got the banquet to go to tonight named Carm Isabella. Don't know if he's any relation to Anthony Isabella, but he certainly hit Patrick Egan there like he was driving a race car. That's for sure. That was a hard hit. Hopefully Egan is able to get back out there. First down 10 at the 48-yard line of GW. Great starting field position for the Sir Bills. They'll hand it off to Swartwout, looking to get outside, spins, and gets inside the 40, close to the first down, and picks up nearly 10 yards. And Patrick Egan is jogging back on the field for GW. Very short, picked up about 9.5 on 1st and 10. Big time-consuming drive for GW. That was huge, but now their defense has to come up with a stop, and they had success with Swartwout at the end of the half, and Johnstown going right back to that. And they're going right back to those short out patterns, too. That's Max Miller over there again. This looks like, trust me, folks, Eric didn't do this, but it looks like we rewound the tape to the end of the second quarter. Running Swartwout to the right side, short out patterns to the right side. Johnstown definitely thinks they found something over there, and they're using it to pick on GW defensively. First down and 10. Here's the handoff. They'll come the other side this time, and the ball, I thought the ball came loose, but it didn't. It was Swartwout again. Livingston was the blocker, and he's the one that got spun around. Cameron Myers with the tackle for GW, but inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. So Johnstown looking to answer back quickly. So when you put together a long time consuming drive like GW did, that's great when you cash it in with points. But Johnstown started in GW territory on this drive, and they're on the move quickly. Swartwout once again, big hole. And he's down close to the 5-yard line. Coming down to 5 minutes to go, briskly played third quarter. Johnstown looking to strike back quickly. They've got GW back on their heels right now. And they've got the ball at the 7-yard line with a second down and about 3 coming up here. Going out to the right side is Aiden Diamore, another receiver here to the left. Looks like a receiver in the slot, too. They'll throw, and it's incomplete. Max Miller, the intended receiver over there. So finally, at least for that play, GW finds a way to stop those little short outs to Miller. Clock stop, 4:25 to go in the third quarter. And CJ Monty slid over there from the linebacker spot on that left side. So big play coming up here. 3rd down and 3, Sir Bills at the GW 7. 20-7 GW. And a low snap, ball is loose, and they're going to lose yardage on the play. Sagana was there. Sam Huntington was there. And Downing had no choice but to get back on top of that football. And it's now, when it was 3rd and 3, going to be 4th and about 7. They were at the 7-yard line. Now back at about the 12, and it's 4th down. This is a huge play right here in this football game, folks. We go under 4 minutes to play, a 2-score lead for GW, and it's 4th down and 7 at the 12-yard line for the Sir Bills. Big play right here. They're going to hand it off. Swerve out. A.J. Landon's behind the line of scrimmage back at the 19-yard line. Play from A.J. Landon came through one block, and a huge, and I mean huge, 4th down stop for GW. Landon shot out of the proverbial cannon right there, as they say, and makes a huge play, and GW is going to take over with 3:38 to go in the quarter. First down and 10, GW at the 17-yard line. And once again, they want to use clock as much as possible. And here's Monty. Monty up across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And again, same strategy, different time on the clock, but power football, run the clock. If you cash it in with points, it's going to be about all she wrote. They can put together a long drive here and cash it in with points. It's going to be lights out for the Sir Bills. They're going to keep it on the ground. Once again, Monty, big hole. They stack him up at about the 40, but still on his feet. They come up and push the line. Egan comes up there and helps push the line. Studley was up there, and they push him all the way to the 46-yard line. First down. We go under 3 minutes to play. GW with a new set of downs, new 4 downs to run clock here. And you got to love the way this offensive line for GW is running down the field. Brandon Beaver touched on it last week when we interviewed him. They're running down the field. They're blocking. They're pushing the pile. 1st and 10. Monty stumbles ahead for a short gain. Egan leading the way. Studley as well. Looks like Landon there as well. Matthew Livingston on the tackle for the Sir Bills. This front line of GW is just wearing down Johnstown right now, punishing them up front in the trenches. Been a very fast third quarter. Second down and 8. They're going to pass and look out in the flat. 40, 40, 35, puts his head down, finishes it down to about the 33-yard line. Finn McLaughlin, the sophomore, stands in and fires at the Mason Sagana for the GW first down. And that's just a great play call right there, because they've been thinking Monty, that big offensive line taking charge. You slip that pass in there, caught the Sir Bills totally by surprise. Just a great play call, perfectly timed, a really good time for it. And it's going to be a first down for GW. Clock stop, minute 42 to go here, third quarter, 20-7. In favor of GW here in the Section 2 Class C quarterfinals. So working on the injured player, I believe it's Aiden Diamore. Diamore is up walking off under his own power. Nice round of applause here for Diamore. And McLaughlin threw that ball perfectly. There was a defender out there who, if he played it right, could have had a chance to pick that, but it was such a perfect throw by Finn McLaughlin that the defender over there didn't have a chance. The only guy that could catch that ball was Mason Sagana. So it's first down and 10, about the 38-yard line of Johnstown for GW. Minute 42 to go, third quarter, a two-score lead. They wind the clock up. 20-7 GW. Full house backfield. They'll hand it off to Monty. 30, dragging Swartwout, the defender, down inside the 30. And second down and about 5 coming up after the 5-yard pickup by Monty. If they hold on to the football, play it smart here, GW is going to take the football into the fourth quarter with a two-score lead as we get down to just about a minute. Once again, they're going with the fullback, Landon, along with Barber back there since Beaver got hurt, and it's worked out extremely good. They made a nice move to do that here in this third quarter. As I said, I seem to remember that Landon back maybe his freshman year or so did play some fullback. As a matter of fact, they have 44 listed. They have 2 numbers listed for him on the roster, 44 and 57. Third and about 3. No surprise, it's C.J. Monty, and he's going to carry the pile to the 20-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down. And that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. And GW is going to have 4 downs to work with to start the fourth quarter and use more clock already with a 2-score lead. And that is going to be a pretty good situation. If they just hang on to the football, play smart down the stretch, they're going to be in a really good spot in the fourth quarter. And that's going to do it for the fourth quarter of play here at Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. The first ever home sectional game at Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. And right now, things looking good for GW. They'll go to the fourth quarter with a 20-7 lead over Johnstown in the Section 2 Class C quarterfinals. Today's game here on Nivett Media Sports brought to you by W.T. Burns Insurance. Tired of high insurance rates? Before you shift gears to an online company, call Sherry at W.T. Burns Insurance. She'll shop for the best rate for you. 518-499-1333. 94 Pulteney Street in Whitehall, New York. For auto, home, business, recreation insurance, call Sherry Roselle. 518-499-1333. W.T. Burns Insurance, serving Vermont and New York. Also by the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant. Now offering DoorDash, online ordering and pickup. Rail Yard gift certificates make holiday gift giving easy. 209 Broadway, Whitehall, New York. 518-499-0411. They're open 6 days a week. The Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant of Whitehall. We go to the fourth quarter here in the Section 2 Class C football quarterfinals. Granville-Whitehall with a 20-7 lead. As we start playing the fourth quarter over Johnstown, looking for what would be the first win here as well. If it's obviously the first game ever played here in the sectionals, it would obviously be the first win here in the sectionals. Due to the fact that there's never been a sectional game played here by GW or by Granville even. Another good run on first down, and it's just hat on a hat, I call it. Just line up, no receivers, just power football. Kind of reminds you of the old John Millett days back in Whitehall when they just ran the unbalanced line and the power football. 5 yards in a cloud of dust, they used to call it. And that field over there was dusty back in those days, too. They knew what they were talking about when they said 5 yards in a cloud of dust. Of course, it was redone there a few years back. Beautiful facility over there now. Here's Monty. And he's inside the 10. Right now, the clock, the friend of GW, they orchestrated this second half perfectly. They lost their fullback, Brandon Beaver. They moved A.J. Landon to fullback in the third quarter. And long, sustained drives, power football, using the clock, cashing it in with points. Perfectly orchestrated here by GW's coaching staff in this second half. First down and goal for GW. 10.5 to go in the game. They lead by 2 touchdowns. They'll keep it on the ground. Monty breaks free, pops outside, gets to the pylon. Touchdown, GW. 4th touchdown of the game for C.J. Monty, and it's a 3-score game with 10:27 to go. Ten-yard run that time by Monty. And the conversion attempt coming up here. For GW. It's interesting because they've had to make a bit of an adjustment here in this third quarter, and it's ended up being huge. They'll keep it on the ground. Monty, the conversion, tries the left side. He's in. 10:27 to go in the ball game. And as they come up the field here, it is GW behind 4 touchdown runs from C.J. Monty with a 28-7 lead over the Sir Bills of Johnstown. This is the Section 2 Class C high school football quarterfinals here on Nivett Media Sports. And today's game on NYVT Sports has been brought to you by Telescope Casual Furniture, manufacturing in Granville for over 100 years. Voted the ICFA Manufacturer of the Year in 2019, 2021, and 2022. Family-owned and operated business focusing on comfort, style, quality, and world-class customer service. That's Telescope Furniture of Granville. Our sponsor of the Telescope Furniture Broadcast Center, we broadcast all of our sporting events from here on NYVT Media Sports. Also brought to you by Doc's Sales and Service. Does your snow equipment need servicing? Now's the time to schedule. Avoid the wait. Call Doc's Sales and Service today. 518-499-5394. 112140 State Route 22, Whitehall, New York. That's Doc's Sales and Service. Brand new sponsor for us today. Thanks to Doc's Sales and Service for coming on board. 10:27 to go in the ball game. 28-7, Granville-Whitehall. 4 touchdowns for C.J. Monty and a dominant performance up front in the trenches. Swartwout takes it across the 15-20 to the 30, 35, 40. Tripped up, runs into his own man, and finally going to be brought down near midfield. And in on the tackle there was Mason Sagana. Also, number 60, I believe, was there as well. And that's Caden Tureen. And this has got to be so frustrating for Paul Furman, the head coach of Johnstown. Literally every kick return and punt return, except for maybe one in this ball game, they had been flagged for a hold or an illegal block. And every time it's taken away a big gain for them on a return. Just, it's got to be eating away at them right now. They have shot themselves right in the foot, as the old saying goes. 10:16 to go in the ball game. 28-7 GW. They'll keep it on the ground. Livingston across the 20 to about the 22 or 23-yard line. Sam Huntington coming off the bottom of that pile. Johnstown down 3 scores, going without the huddle here. They'll send 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Downing out of the shotgun. Now they'll line up a receiver as a tight end over here. He'll roll out of the pocket, look to throw deep. He's got a man out there. It's caught. It's Miller across midfield. Max Miller has had a ton of receiving yards in this game. He has been impressive. Steven Madison over there defensively for GW, but Miller has been catching those short outs in the late part of the second quarter, early part of the third, and now went deep there. Now he's lined up over here on the right side. 9:31 to play. And they'll keep it on the ground, and Granville-Whitehall is going to be all over this one. That was Huntington over there. They're going to keep the clock running. Sagana looks like he was in on the play. Pickup of maybe a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 coming up here for the Sir Bills with 9 minutes to play in the football game. And they go into the huddle. They're going to have to go to some big quick strike plays because they don't seem to be in all that big of a hurry. Downing back to pass, looks right, throws down the middle. There's a flag down. It's going to be a touchdown to Miller, but a flag down. I think it's coming back. Johnstown fans are excited, but I think they're about to be disappointed. Ineligible receiver downfield on the Sir Bills. And that has been the story today for Johnstown, quite honestly. Big kick return, block in the back. Big kick return, hold. Big pass play, ineligible receiver downfield. I mean, they've just been killing themselves with errors today. They could have made a big difference in this ball game. 8:48 to go, but GW needs to make a mental note to themselves there. They are, they're going back into the huddle, and they're not exactly in a hurry-up offense down 3 scores with 8:48 to go in the game. You know what that means? They're chucking that thing deep. So you got to be prepared for that if you're back there in that secondary for GW, because that's their only path to victory right now. Down 3 scores at this point is quick strike. Here's Downing, back to pass, throws, incomplete. And Miller has caught about everything thrown here today, and he couldn't haul that one in. It's going to be 3rd and 14. These next 2 plays might determine the outcome here. They need a first down, or GW is going to get the ball back with 8 minutes to go and have a chance to run this clock. Downing takes a snap, fakes to Swarthout, wants to throw, looks down the middle, incomplete. Well covered that time by GW. As I said, they learned their lesson. They dropped extra guys back into pass coverage that time. It's going to be 4th down, and the fat lady might be warming up over on the Johnstown sideline here. Not singing yet, but this is a big play right here. They need a first down here, 28-7. If they don't get a first down here, they give the ball back to GW with 8 minutes to play, down 3 scores. And the way GW has been dominating the line of scrimmage, it's going to be very, very difficult. This is a huge play. 4th and about 14. They need to get to the 35-yard line. This is the most important play of the football game here for the Sir Bills in Johnstown. Downing. They're going to run a reverse. Granville sniffing it out pretty good. There's a holding call, and still on his feet is DeMore, and they're finally going to bring him down. Cameron Myers with a nice tackle there, but it's not going to matter. They're going to decline this penalty. There was a clear hold as DeMore was trying to get outside because GW had this play completely sniffed out. And GW is going to take over on downs with 8:23 to go. Great job there by GW defensively. Johnstown, I like the play call by Johnstown, going to the little razzle-dazzle there. So 1st and 10, GW. Their goal right now, run clock. Johnstown has all their timeouts left, I believe. Right now, every time you get a first down near GW, you're taking another 2 or 3 minutes off that clock with 8 minutes to go here in the game, up 28-7. That's the key right now. Pick up a 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6. Once again, Monty, right side, across the 45, thrown ahead, close to a first down. It was Van Green on the tackle for the Sir Bills, number 17. And it is enough to move the chain, so it's 7.5 to go. Fresh set of downs. 4 more downs to run clock here for GW. And as I said, every time they get a first down here and get 4 more downs, it's a couple more minutes of clock they can run off here in this ball game. And they're going to use every second of that play clock. No play clock here at Granville on the scoreboard. It's kept down on the field. But you know they're going to stay in that huddle. And Finn McLaughlin's going to be told, don't snap that until you need to snap it. McLaughlin takes the snap, hands off here to A.J. Landon, and they've got him behind the line of scrimmage. Does not matter as this to serve the purpose, and that's keep the clock running here. Swartwout on the tackle. Jonathan Swartwout, number 20. Lost 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 12. 6.5 to go. 28-7 GW. McLaughlin watching the official who's going to let him know when it's down to the final seconds. That's what Finn McLaughlin's doing right there. Hands off to Monty. Monty tripped up, or he might have gone on that one. Gets across the 40. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7 coming up here for GW. We go under 6 minutes to play. GW hangs on. They'll go back to where they got to last year, the semifinals for Class C. Last year they went to Cobleskill, Richmondville, and were knocked out by the Bulldogs. But the Bulldogs were knocked out last night by Hoosick Falls Tamarack. Here's a toss sweep to Monty. Monty, 35 breaks. Go, 20, 15, 10. They're not going to get him. Put the frosting on the cake. Get it out of the oven. Monty for his 5th touchdown. And he puts the capper on this one. 5:21 remaining. And Monty with the big touchdown run. And again, this offensive line today, as I said, has been incredible. It's going to make it 34-7 after the Monty run. And they'll go for the conversion. And they're going to run Barber. Barber trying to punch it in. There's a flag down. That's in the area of holding. And obviously, if Barber didn't get in, the Sir Bills would decline if it's a holding call. And it is. So holding against Granville-Whitehall. The Sir Bills will decline that. And with 5:21 left in the football game here at Sam Eppolito Field in Granville, our score is Granville-Whitehall 34, Johnstown 7. Today's game being brought to you by W.T. Burns Insurance. Tired of high insurance rates? Before you shift gears to an online company, call Sherry at W.T. Burns Insurance. She'll shop for the best rate for you. Call 518-499-1333, 94 Pulteney Street, Whitehall, New York. Auto, home, business, recreation. Sherry Roselle has it all. 518-499-1333, serving Vermont, New York. It's W.T. Burns Insurance. Also, the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant now offering DoorDash, online ordering, and pickup. Rail Yard gift certificates make holiday gift giving easy. 209 Broadway in Whitehall, New York. Call 518-499-0411. They're open 6 days a week. The Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant of Whitehall. And thanks to those great sponsors. Of course, Telescope's with us on everything we do. We appreciate them. And Dock Sales and Service, W.T. Burns, the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant, joining us today for the first time this year. And it's through their patronage that we're bringing you this, what it looks like it's going to be, barring some kind of a miracle, the first ever sectional win here at Sam Eppolito Field. And here's the return out to the 35-yard line by the Sir Bills. What a performance by GW here in the second half. You know, these big games, the trenches are the difference, and the trenches are what's been the difference here today. First down and 10, Sir Bills, 5:15 to go, 34-7. Downing out of the shotgun. He'll keep it on the ground. And a big run there for Swartwow out to midfield. And Cameron Myers there for GW. Cameron Myers has had a nice ball game today for GW. It's a first down for the Sir Bills. They'll go to the hurry-up offense here, down 34-7. And now staying down there is Livingston. Livingston is now up, but looks like he's going to head to the sideline for Johnstown. It's been a very physical football game. We've had several guys on both sides have to be helped off. It's been a physical contest, no doubt about it. And I don't mean that in a bad way or anything like that. It's been a hard-hitting physical contest. And the biggest adjustment was the coaching staff of GW in that third quarter with Brandon Beaver sidelined with an injury, bringing A.J. Landon in and putting him at the fullback spot, and then just going with a tight formation and just playing power football. And they just had too much power for the Sir Bills of Johnstown. So first down 10, Johnstown at midfield, down 34-7. Clock running. We go under 5 minutes to play. They're going to keep it on the ground for Swartwow. He's got room down the right sideline, gets a nice block there, has some running room. Beautiful move. Ball comes loose, and he gets it back inside the 10-yard line. The Sir Bills need to score, and then they obviously have to go to an onside kick situation. 4.5 minutes to play. They seem a little confused here. And they're going to have to use their first timeout of the half. So we'll chit-chat on this one. We got our sponsors well taken care of. And hopefully we'll be back with you next weekend. A couple of the teams, at least we know that we cover, are still going to be in action. Granville-Whitehall, barring a miraculous comeback like's never been seen before, is going to be moving on to the Class C semifinals. And they would play, it looks like Fonda Fultonville would be their opponent. And then, of course, Ravenna, Queens, Selkirk, the pairings come out here today or tomorrow for the Class B. I think they're going to be home potentially against Averill Park in the Class B playoffs. So, got a couple of options there for next weekend. I believe they were talking that our first option would be Granville-Whitehall if they're still alive. I saw that conversation out there. So 4:21 to go. Johnstown trying to punch one in. Here's a fake handoff. Downing is going to run it himself. Big hole at the middle, touchdown. And it comes with 4:15 to go in the ball game. So Downing with the touchdown. So now they'll go for the conversion. It's now 34-13 GW. And we can expect an onside kick coming up. And 2 timeouts left. So if GW is successful in recovering the onside kick, 1 first down, Johnstown will use their last 2 timeouts. 1 first down would do it. And the kick is up. And the kick is good by David Jerebeck. So now with 4:15 to go in the ball game, it is Granville-Whitehall 34, Johnstown 14. So still a 3-score game here with 4:15 to go. And you'd expect to see the onside kick right here. So the hands team will be out there, which is your receivers, running backs, guys with good hands. As we expect Jerebeck to kick an onside kick right here. And if GW can pounce on it, they'll run the ball. Johnstown will use their last 2 timeouts. I believe they have 2 left. And then that would be it. So Granville-Whitehall expecting the onside kick here from Jerebeck. Here we go. And it is an onside kick. And it's going to be recovered by GW, by Stephen Madison at about the 35-yard line. So 4:13 to go. GW just needs probably 1 first down here, and they'll just be able to run the clock out. Because Johnstown can stop the clock twice. They just used a timeout down here on that drive. So Granville-Whitehall is going to take a timeout, I think, just to say, hey, this is what we need to do. A couple new players joining the huddle there. Tyler Jones, number 51. Max Arnado, number 77. Looks like GW is going to rest some people here, maybe. Actually, Jones walking back with the water bottles. So hang on to the football. Maybe that's what Coach Gibo was saying. They're going to be trying to strip it. Hang on to it tight. You get 1 first down, ball game's over. Johnstown's going to use 2 timeouts here. And if they choose to do so. McLaughlin takes the snap. Hands off. Monty's looking to get outside. 40, 45. 50 and gets out of bounds at midfield. Nice run. The only thing I would have liked to have seen Monty do better there is fall down in bounds and keep the clock running. It's first down at the 49-yard line. Right now, if you're GW, you just want to get this thing over. CJ Monty is going to come off. Gets a nice round of applause. Don't know if that's all we're going to see from him today. Could likely be. Barber's in the backfield along with Vandenberg. Looks like Landon's still the fullback. Here's Barber. Barber looking to get outside. They've got him wrapped up. He's going to get out at the 48-yard line. And the ball came out. Johnstown tried to say that they had it, but the officials are saying no. And Johnstown's not electing to use a timeout right now. So it looks like maybe they have waved the flag of surrender here because they've got 2 timeouts left. So pickup of a yard there by Barber. And now a stoppage. I think maybe their coach is just saying, hey, get together, talk about what you saw there. We ended up with the football in our hands. Or worse yet, I think it's going to be a penalty on the Johnstown bench, and that is what it's going to be. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's going to be a first down, and that's going to, if there's any doubt before, that's going to about wrap it up. But I know the head referee was over there in the direction of the Johnstown bench, and next thing I knew, he blew his whistle, stopped play, and I thought maybe they was going to get together and say, hey, what happened there? What'd you see? What'd you see? Nope. Unsportsmanlike conduct. And so first down, not a first down. Second, no, they just haven't moved the chains yet. That's all. It is a first down. So now they'll start the clock up. McLaughlin underneath the center. Takes the snap, hands the ball off to Nathan Barber. Not much there, but keeps the clock going, gets the clock going, and it looks like the Sir Bills will not use their final timeouts here. They're just going to let this clock tick down as we go under 3 minutes to play. So second down and long coming up, about 9 here for GW. And you see Finn McLaughlin watching the official using every second of the play clock here. He'll be signaled by the official when it's under 10 seconds. He'll snap it. He'll take it. He'll hand it off to Barber. Barber's going to be wrapped up at the 30-yard line. And that's going to bring us down to 2 minutes to go in the football game. Third down coming up. So it'll be Fonda Fultonville, I believe, on the road. And I assume that game would be Friday night. All the games were Friday night in Class C this year, but this one, and I have to say, it's been great being back here on a Saturday afternoon at Sam Eppolito Field. Able to see well here without the portable lights. And it's just, I called a lot of games here on Saturday afternoons and certainly brought back a lot of memories. McLaughlin takes a snap, hands off to Barber. And we're coming down on a minute to play. They'll snap it one more time. And Johnstown may get one snap, but as I said, they've not chosen to use their last timeout. They have conceded victory here this afternoon. So a big win, first ever playoff game in the sectionals here for Granville-Whitehall or Granville, as far as that goes, back in the days before the merger here at Sam Eppolito Field. And they're going to make that long wait worthwhile. It's going to be a victory. Here's a toss sweep for Barber, stay in bounds. And Swartwout was the first guy to get there. They're going to throw Barber down. And 20.7 seconds to go. Stop the clock. They will not get the first down, so the Sir Bills will take over with 20.7 seconds to go, down 34-14. But a good run here for Johnstown. Congratulations to them for getting to this point, as they were at one point 1-3 on the season. They gave Schuylerville one of the toughest games the Black Horses have faced this year. And then they ran off 3 in a row, wins over Coxsackie Athens, and also went over Coxsackie Athens, and they win over Broadalbin Perth, and a win over Hudson to get to this point. So congratulations to Paul Furman and his team after a slow start to continue working hard to get themselves in this position. And they're going to keep it on the ground. Swartwout looking for some running room down the right side. And he's going to get out of bounds over there with 12 seconds to play. And I think the last thing anybody here wanted to see was get out of bounds and stop the clock. All the way up to the 42-yard line. 63 coming out, David Landon, replacing A.J. Landon. And what a game today for A.J. Landon. He dominated this football game on both sides of the ball. Got in there and became the fullback, replacing Beaver, and was just outstanding today. Back to pass, tipped, incomplete. 7.7 to go. Johnstown just prolonging the inevitable here. So it's going to be second down 10 with 7.7 seconds to go. Granville-Whitehall is going to go to the Class C semifinals for the second year in a row. So outstanding job by the coaching staff. Made a big adjustment in the second half. They're going to run a screen here, and this will be it. Swartwout down the sideline. If they bring him down, the game's over. Myers had him, and Vandenberg shoves him out of bounds, and that's going to be it. And that's going to be the ball game here at Sam Eppolito Field. For the second year in a row, the Granville-Whitehall football team will advance to the Section 2 Class C semifinals as they defeat Johnstown here this afternoon by a score of 34-14. And like I said, give this coaching staff a lot of credit. The second half, they made huge adjustments. When their fullback, Brandon Beaver, went down with a injury, they moved A.J. Landon to a fullback, and they just went to power football in the second half, and it was extremely successful. It was really the key to the win here this afternoon. So that's going to wrap it up here from Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. First sectional game ever held here. First sectional win picked up here by the Granville-Whitehall football team. Our final score, Granville-Whitehall 34, Johnstown 14. Today's game has been brought to you by Telescope Casual Furniture of Granville, Docks Sales and Service, W.T. Burns Insurance, and the Rail Yard Tap Room and Restaurant. All of those of Whitehall, New York. For Eric Picar, my producer and cameraman, I'm Keith Harrington saying so long from Sam Eppolito Field in Granville. This has been a production of NYBT.